Can you talk about both, I don't know if you have both a mission statement or a vision statement, but could you talk a little bit about your mission and why that's important to you?
The biggest thing why it's so important is because what I went through, again, like I said, I wouldn't accept help. Okay, my biggest flaw, like my greatest flaw of my lifetime was just thick-headed, gonna figure it out myself. I'll get it. I get all the credit. Okay, so what I realized is like when I overcame that issue and watched how things miraculously changed and sped up and accomplishment happened hand over fist, super fast. I couldn't even believe it. I mean, I made everything work. It just took twice as long and it was twice as hard. Okay, my mission, what I realized was, how can I save 10 years of an entrepreneur's life from, costing mistakes, banging their head against the wall, wrong decisions, losing money, lost profitability, all this stuff because no one wants to help them. We're in this super social world and Facebook and everything else, but we're totally disconnected. Okay, no one really helping you. I can throw out a little stuff on Facebook and say this and do this, do that. No one's really getting in there and giving you work. The only people who helped me were the people who actually really helped me. Like they cared, they got in, they gave me real world stuff, that started changing what I actually did. When I applied it, it worked. I go, okay, I can take this because I know I know my niche. I know what I want to do. And I've seen it every business I talk to, it's the same thing. It's all the same. I'm like, everyone is just repeating the same nonsense they heard. Because like I don't want to make any money the first 3 years of my business because I don't want to pay those taxes. And I just look at them like, who taught you that? Okay, I don't want to be broke for 3 years so I don't pay taxes. That is like the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Okay, but this is what's in people's head. They believe that to be true. You should show I made no money for 3 years. It's ludicrous. I want to show I made $3 million. I paid $78,000 in taxes. I'm good. I made $3 million. I got $1 million. I got $900,000 in the bank. I'm okay. I'm good with the 78 grand. You know what I mean? I didn't make any money. I'm broke. I lost my car last week too. Because I didn't make any money my first year in business. I mean, that's what I mean. And everyone has this. It's like getting your news from memes. Okay, like you actually believe what the meme says as fact. All right, I mean, it's like, wait a minute, you need a legitimate source. So my mission became be the legit source. But create something that people can so dig into and get unbelievable results when they apply it. They don't just learn, because it's easy to learn and pass a test, but if you can't apply it, it's wasted knowledge. I posted a thing the other day, speaking of memes. It was, the person who doesn't read is no better than the person who can't read. Okay, they have nothing over you. If you never read, okay, to educate yourself and learn something new, you're no better than the guy who can't read. I think that's a Mark Twain quote, by the way, but that's, it's pretty brilliant. So you got to read, but you also have to do it. So my mission is to create something they can learn and apply. Without practical application, it's wasted. So that's really the big part of my mission. I can bring this, and like I said, I've created the curriculum, I've created this entire program, and my whole goal is to help 10,000 business owners escape the owner prison. And maybe that's a lot, maybe it's not enough. I don't know. But I got a plan over the next 10 years to help 10,000 people. And that's my goal. And if I get there early, I'm good with that too. I'll help another 10,000, whatever it takes. So that's my basic mission and why I'm doing that. I don't want people to suffer. I want to time compress. I want to take 10 years, compress it into 16 weeks, or sooner. I do them with masterminds. People come, we spend a weekend. They literally can learn 5 and 10 years worth of valuable information that can help them and save them so much time to grow, expand their business, and succeed in their business. I'm just tired of the failure rate. It's ridiculous. I mean, so many people fail at business in the first year, in the first third year, in the fifth year. It's crazy. It doesn't need to happen. The greatest, again, this for me, I always come back to freedom. Even in my program, I have a whole section on freedom and why, when you're your own economic engine, it's the greatest freedom creator in the world. I mean, that's why we became the greatest country in the world. Okay, because we could generate things, we could create, we could innovate, we could bring things to market, we could solve people's problems. You got that. You have limitless potential to make this happen. So I don't want to see people fail when they have an idea to do that. Because you're crushing their ability to have freedom. So that's like the overall principle, I guess, is like I'm not only free from the owner prison, but you're increasing freedom, and you're able to share that freedom and give to others too. So that's kind of where it's at. Does that make sense?
I've got, if you're okay, Shane, I've got 3 more questions I wanted to ask based on what he was just talking about. So I'm posting them up in the thread there. That way you can go refer to them as you're chatting. Um, Seems to work. My first one is, can you comment? You mentioned that you're kind of a turnaround expert, or you help people with turnaround. So if you could give us a blurb on that, what does that mean? What does that look like? Is that an ownership stake? Is it a salary? Is it they hire you as a coach or a consultant? What does that look like? I've seen lots of different ways that turnaround experts get involved in companies. Do you have a particular niche that you serve? Question number 6 is, are there 2 or 3 systems that, in your opinion, are an absolute must, and why? Like, what are the 2 or 3 systems that every business or company should have, regardless of their size? And then 7, I like you literally just said, it was funny because I was typing it in and then you said it, compressing timeframes. I'm a massive fan of compressing timeframes, and Shane and I talk about stacking the hack, that sort of thing. So can you talk about, obviously you talked about how getting education and getting some training that can help you compress timeframes. You can get 10 years of learning in 16 weeks instead of 10 years, right? Don't go through the school of hard knocks to learn the lessons that I learned by, losing however many millions of dollars, et cetera. I understand that. But, in today's business, today's world, you wrote, we posted your blog. And one of the reasons I posted it is because I believe that the fast eat the slow. It's not really if I'm bigger than you are that, I'm going to automatically dominate you. Now, there's still some truth to that, but it's not entirely the same. I think that, for example, Main Street America has really missed out on how to leverage themselves against Walmart as the behemoth, right? Just because Walmart is huge, Walmart is also slow, right? They can't respond to market change the way a smaller, Main Street company can, if that makes any sense. So compressing timeframes to me is, basically, I don't know, achieving goals faster or something, right? Not necessarily that, but, or maybe, ramping up your revenue growth faster than you thought possible or something. So what do you mean outside of, or is there meaning for you outside of compressing your time frame for the learning, right? And trying to avoid that 98% failure rate that so many businesses go through in their 5th year.
Right, or sooner.
Right?
But yeah, I'd say,
Yeah, it's by 5 years, right? Isn't that the
yeah,
standard?
they're done.
Yeah,
But
70,
yeah,
70, well, according to the Small Business Administration, 75% fail in 3 and 98% are gone by 5. So,
yeah, it's great. I mean, it depends on the labor statistics you look at. And here's
yep.
the reality is a lot of them are in business and they're not even really in business and they fail. There's no record. They're not even tracking some of the numbers way. It's like how many illegal aliens are in the country. Okay, they don't know. Okay, so they say 12, but there's 25. Whatever. But it's the same thing in business. We all know people who start stuff. They're doing CAD, doing this. There's no records of a business. They're just operating and doing things, but they fail. It's a taco truck. You know what I mean? They're doing their thing and they're selling tacos and they're out of business in a year, or 6 months or whatever. So there's that. But my thing on the speed, and that's like on the blog that I wrote, I love speed. Okay, I love getting things done quickly. I love getting things done efficiently. That's why I like systems and processes. I think I get back to people with an estimate immediately, okay, so they can make a decision. I don't waste time. I'm not leaving and coming back with anything. Okay, I am going prepared to make things happen. And that's what people want. They want their problem solved. They want a problem solved now. So I love speed. Compressing time for me, same thing. If I can go learn and get saved by guys who have been where I want to be, great, that helps too. So it's all kind of part of the package. But I do believe no matter what you're delivering, the product, if they're good services, it's carpet cleaning. How quick can you get there? Okay, now I use an example, right? If the carpet's soaked, you had the roof leak, or pipes broke. Are you going to take 3 days to go out and dry their carpet? You're not going to have the job, right? You're going to get there in hours. You're going to serve pro. You're going to get there and you're going to drive this stuff and you're going to take care of it. All right. Always, you're losing work to other people. So for me, everything is always based on speed. Okay. Speed to market, speed to completion. All that's what it's about, because no one's ever complained about you showing up early for a job or getting done a week earlier than you thought you were going to. Okay. People, well, at least the way I present and pitch and train is, you're not paying for my time. You're paying for the job. So it doesn't matter if I get done in a week or I get done in 3 days. Okay, you're paying for the completion of the job. You're paying for my experience, if you will. That's what you're really paying for. But I like things to get done, because the faster things get done, the more profitability you're creating in your own business. And I am about maximizing profit. Revenue doesn't matter to me. Like I say to people, revenue feeds the ego, profit feeds the family. All right, you can be doing 10 million a year, but if you're taking home 90 grand, okay, we got to talk. Okay, there's issues. All right, that's a poorly run organization. You're focused on revenue, all right, and real estate and everything else. You're not focused on profit. I'm about profitability. That's the biggie. You want me to continue on these other questions?
Yep.
Okay, on the turnaround expert aspect, what I do, so I build programs, courses, so people are able to come in and I coach. Okay, so we combine one-on-one with accountability and online curriculum, video training, written training. We do all that. And then again, our accountability is about the application aspect. Because there's a lot of guys who will give me $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, then they just evaporate. And you got to work on this, okay? You don't get to drop some coin and then everything's going to be done and you're going to have a miraculous business and you're going to go and be on the beach. It doesn't work that way, okay? So we got to, I'm not a pill pusher. You don't get to have a pill and have the miraculous great business, but so many guys are able to generate income, but they're not good at everything else. They're out making money and getting jobs done. But then when you want to systematize that business and put some processes in place, they'll give you the money, but they won't do anything. So now you're hounding them. So, when you talk about my expertise is the accountability aspect and the coaching, making sure it gets done. I need documented proof, and we make sure this stuff gets implemented, see the systems, tweak them, because if they'll put the time in the beginning, there's never a lot more work once they're in place. There's a little tweaking here and there and corrections, but nothing like the hard work that's got to be done in the beginning. So that's where I'm at. So I'm basically paid. Let's get this result, do this. I don't do equity partnerships. I don't do anything like that. Not that that's out of the question down the line, but that's not in my program now. What I'm doing is building a coaching base with multiple coaches and everything else, working with multiple businesses and take them through the programs. And then we have extensions from there into the next level of business. So we'll take them all the way through, however far they want to go, on that. So that's how that works on that. 2 or 3 systems that are absolute must. Well, yes. I mean, obviously, whether it's QuickBooks or some type of accounting software. I don't care if you hire a bookkeeper. That can be the same thing as having software. Okay, a bookkeeper is different than the CPA. Right, the bookkeeper is literally just track, and you can do this with a virtual assistant. You got VAs, you can pay $4 an hour and have this done. There's no excuse not to have your books being taken care of. Money's not an excuse, nothing. There's no reason to have somebody at least qualified to be able to put all this stuff in some kind of spreadsheet that you can then quarterly or yearly, wherever you're at, give that to an accountant who can then, which you're going to save money because everything's already done for them. They can plug it in their system and do that. So that's one that's a must. Okay, on that, definitely the accounting. The other one is just a basic CRM, a contact resource management. Okay, so you want to be able to maintain and understand your customer base. Okay, if you're in any business, you have customers. No one has a business without customers. I call it lifetime profitable value, LPV. All right, every customer has a lifetime profitable value. Right? So if I put a roof on their house today and they gave me $15,000, am I going to say, okay, see you in 30 years, walk away because that's when they'll need a roof again? Why would I do that? Why? They have siding, they have windows, maybe they'll be damaged, maybe they have friends they know. So what do? Oh, you know what else you get with a roof install is a free inspection every year to make sure our roof is doing exactly what we put it on to do. And I show up And we walked the roof, and oh, I noticed your windows are kind of deteriorating over here, and the siding's kind of, can I give you an estimate for that? Okay, you're a friend of mine, you're able to do it's a sales call, right? But take it back into the CRM. I can now keep in contact with them. I can send them content. I can send them deals. I can send them, referral requests, things like that. I build a relationship because over time, over 20, 30 years, okay, they could be worth $100,000 to me instead of 15. I use car dealers for that example. My wife and I went in, we bought a 15-person van. You're like me, you've got a lot of kids. Okay, it's great to have a Suburban, but you can't take any friends because there's already 8 of you, so there's no seats available. All right, so we go get the big van, we walk in, I buy this thing, again, 6 kids, husband and wife, buy the van, leave, never hear from the dealer. Give me a call like a year and a half later trying to get me in for service. I'm like, you people, not an email, no extra service, made it just a burden. I'm like, wait, you know how much I'm worth to this? Think about over the next 20, 30 years. We buy a new car. We have 2 cars. Buy a new car every 3 to 4 years. Okay, there's 2 right there. I've got 6 children who are going to grow and become drivers, who will then have families. Okay, I am worth like $3 million to your dealership. Okay, I mean, do you understand that? I mean, I bought a $35,000 vehicle, but I'm worth like $3 million to you, LPV. I mean, it's great, and they don't get it. They don't get it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'll never go to the dealer again. They're not the only dealer, right? I mean, so that's what I mean. So for that, a CRM is a way to manage your customers, keep in contact with them. So those 2, your books and a CRM, okay? So, and a lot of those, again, in construction, we have things like Job Nimbus, where you can track every portion of the job. You can do all that stuff. So again, every business is different, but those are 2 very critical aspects that'll keep your business organized and on track and actually creating you more profitability, like books, right? You're seeing what's coming, what's going, your P&Ls, everything else, you're able to do all that stuff. If you're not watching that stuff, that's where your profits evaporate.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, we're sitting at, I think Shane's got like one more question, and then we'll probably
Awesome.
wrap it up. But I just, usually Shane does kind of a nice little outro. We'll give you an opportunity to tell everybody how do they find you, how can they book you, all that sort of thing. So we definitely want to make sure that we get that in at the end of the call. But I think Shane's got one more question maybe, or are we done, or where are we at?
Yeah, so my question could actually go into the wrap up. So you mentioned the school, and I really like how you said that you can take people as far as they want to go. So if we have anybody who listens to this and is interested in what you're doing, what would you say is the first step for them to get into your program?
2 things. First, if they go, I do prefer people read my book, or at least get the book and pretend to read. I do have an audio version too I can send them. So I try to eliminate those excuses too if they don't want to read. But on Facebook, Escape the Owner Prison. Just look it up, it'll pop up. I also have a private Facebook group they can get in, just has to be approved, and there's like 3 questions they answer. Getting my book, or people can schedule a strategy call with me as well. So the best thing I do, that's like a one-on-one, 1-hour strategy call. Okay, it's not even a sales pitch. It literally is, you're going to tell me about your business. We're going to walk through stuff. You will walk away with that, having applicable things to put into your business to make it better. Or we can see if you're a fit for our program. Right now, I will tell you, I am launching, there's a whole new beta program I'm launching in the next week, in the next 8 days. I've got to push. It's like 60% off the normal price. It's amazing. It's a world-class program. I'm looking for 10, 12 people max to be in this program to launch this. Okay, not only am I going to get phenomenal testimonials from them, but they're going to actually help me tweak it and make it even better. Okay, I have a big desire to be number 1. Okay, I just want to be the best in the industry, okay, with this program, and they'll love it. It'll change everything that they do with their business. It'll be amazing. It'll really help them escape that owner prison. So that'll be available as well. So they'll see that to get on my Facebook page, either the Richard Walsh page, they can go directly into that, friend me, whatever, or the Escape the Owner Prison. Look at those, and they'll see videos on those things and stuff like that. So that's the first steps. Learn about what I'm talking about. Like, we covered it quite a bit. I really appreciate this, guys. We really spent some great time on this. I love it. But the book's good. Again, I have an audio version that I could send them as well. I don't have it on Audible yet. It's being edited chapter by chapter. They're a little particular on that Audible stuff, but I've got a great recording of it and stuff, so they get that too as part of the, I have a free book offering. So as a free book, you just cover shipping. I ship on the book.